Okay, now we're going to do the sequential method of distribution according to the numbers that they've given us. So if we go back to the book, it's going to give us some clues on how to do the sequential distribution method. Number one, it says, since the number of departments served is the most common criterion for determining what service departments to allocate first, building maintenance will be allocated first because it serves 4 other departments, whereas storeroom only services 3 other departments. So what we need to notice is that when we're doing the sequential method, the storeroom has been added to the building maintenance distribution, and along with the 2,000 square feet that it occupies. All right. So we need to add that into the other, with the other that we would use back on the distributive method. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same thing that we did with the distribution method. I'm going to say this is equal to that divided by the total amount of square footage. And it's going to get 10% of that, of the $60,000. And I'm just going to copy that down. Oh, I forgot to make that a, there we go. And copy that down. And you'll notice these are the exact same numbers that we got in the book. 10% is going to go to the storeroom. 25% of that 60,000 is going to go to machining. Assembly is getting 50%, and finish is going to get 15%. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get rid of our $60,000 because it is now going to be allocated to everything else. First thing in our list is the storeroom. Now it's going to get 10% of the $60,000. So I'm going to say that times the $60,000. The first thing we need to notice is that since this $6,000, 10% of $60,000 is going to the storeroom, this is going to make it different when we get down to the storeroom distribution when we allocate this to the number of requisitions. It's now no longer just the $45,000, but it's the $45,000 plus the $6,000 that came from building maintenance. We'll get to that here in a few moments. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and allocate 25% of the machining of the $60,000 to the machining department. We're going to distribute 50% of the $60,000 to the assembly, and we're going to distribute 15% of the $60,000 to the finishing. Once again, you'll notice that we still have the $47,000 here that is the total of all of these. Now that we've distributed the building maintenance, we have to go down and distribute the storeroom distribution. Now remember, we no longer have the $45,000 that we had over here in the storeroom when we did the distribution method. We now have the $45,000 plus the $60,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line here, and I'm going to say add these two together. And that's going to give us the $51,000 that we need to distribute amongst all of the departments for the storeroom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing I did before up here. We should get the exact same numbers. So this is going to be equal to this divided by the 750. And let's go ahead and increase our numbers there. This is going to be equal to the 250 divided by the 750. Increase our numbers there to make them equal. And this is going to be equal to this divided by the 750 as well. And we're going to increase our numbers there. Now, when we distribute the storeroom, we need to get rid of the $51,000. So we're going to give the machining department 53% of the $51,000. And once again, I want to get rid of all my decimals. And we're going to give the assembly 33, about a little over 33% of the $51,000. And last, we're going to give the finishing department 13% of that $51,000. So if we add or subtract all of these up, what we're going to get is this, of course, is going to be, let's go ahead and make this an accounting. Right. This is going to be a 0, and this is going to be a 0 because we distributed those amounts to everything. Now we're going to add everything in these columns. And I'm just going to copy that over. And everything here should be distributed evenly according to how it was supposed to be done. So the machining department should get $167,200. The assembly, $202,000, and the finishing is going to end up with $100,800. And if we add all those up, it will equal out to $4,700. And that is how you do that particular problem.